Hello everybody, and I am back recording videos, and today I'd like to go over my attack on War Factory. So, since the last time I recorded, I've managed to upgrade my headquarters to level 19, which unlocks critters, and I've also upgraded Zookas to level 19. So, when you unlock critters, the game really changes. I mean, maybe not as much as it changes when you unlock smoke, but it still changes quite a lot if you know how to use them. Critters are extremely useful. They can often be used to replace a shock, and I'm going to demonstrate that. Today's War Factory is a pretty interesting layout. It is. I think it would be quite difficult to take this one down without, but with critters, it came down pretty easily in 4 attacks. So here's my overall plan. It's to clear out all the long-range defenses to the right of the headquarters. That includes this rocket launcher and the 2 lasers nearest to the core. And then I'm going to clear the defenses by the core, and then just stand there and shoot at it until the shield collapses. So attack was that I landed and I went and smoked into the blind spot of that rocket launcher and destroyed it. After destroying the launcher, then I smoked over to the shock blaster and killed that. So this one is... For this attack, I used 1 critter on the Doom Cannon and then 1 on the laser nearest to the launcher, which was in range of me. Now you can see I should have fired a bit later. Another minor mistake is that I overlapped my smokes a little bit too much. I overlapped my smokes a little bit too little. So half of my Zookas are kind of unable to fire right now, but it still worked out okay. It's important to distract the Doom Cannons because remember, now they have a very small area of effect, and so they can kill quite a lot of Zookas with 1 shot if your Zookas are packed together. Another thing I could have done to that rocket launcher was to flash kill it, so I needn't have smoked within the blind spot. I could have actually have smoked a little bit further left and then just let my Zookas destroy the launcher. So how that works is that if the launcher doesn't acquire your troops on the way up, if it doesn't spot your troops, then it will have to lock on and fire from fresh. And usually that it takes them about, I think, 3 seconds at least to fire from the time it first started. From the time it first saw your troops. However, that goes out the window if it does see your troops, because if it does see if it does see your troops, then the second they unmask from smoke, wherever they are on the map, the launcher will be able to reacquire them and fire instantly. So you want to be a little bit careful when you're flash killing shock launchers and rocket launchers. Second attack, the plan was Smoky Zookas kill the 2 lasers closest to the opposite side of the core. So I didn't need to smoke. The landing, not the entire landing. And this is about a 6 shock path. You can see my troops took a little bit of a diagonal path, and then they straightened out. And also double smoked for my last smoke because I'm cramming among buildings. So I artilleried that laser to mark it, and I flared the other laser. So as you know, Zookas will automatically target any damaged defenses once they're free to fire. You can see they went and shot that laser. So you can use artillery or barrage to tag defenses, and so basically you're designating that your Zookas will go fire on them when they're able to. Okay, that's attack 2. Mission successful. Here's attack 3. Right now I'm just clearing defenses by the core. So I bombed those 2 mines to so that I wouldn't. Also, that I could just walk straight up. Okay, I'm letting my Zookas shoot some crates to gather a little bit of extra GBE because I've only got 3 GBE statues. I think I start with about 90 GBE. That's an that's a level 20 gunboat and three statues. So, yep, smokes to position, critters for the Doom Cannon. Then I just let them do their thing. So remember, they'll go for damaged defenses in their range first, and then they'll go for undamaged ones. One thing about smoke timing, you can clearly see on several occasions that I could stand to have thrown my smoke a little bit later. If you're on a really difficult mission, you want to save every little second of shock time you have, because it can really make the difference. Gearhart is not really so difficult that you need to do that, I think. Usually, so, okay, here's the last attack. Back to what I was saying, when you're smoking over to the left side of Gearhart, so when the factory's over on the far left, and your gunboat's, really far away, then you need to start throwing things quite a bit later. Because, it'll take quite some time for your artillery or barrage or smokes to fly over. Just now I was attacking from the near side of the core. So, I could actually... So, as a really rough guide, if I am in the heat of the moment and I'm not able to think of anything else, I will just default to throwing my shocks or whatever when the smoke timer... My final smoke timer, that is, when it's at 9 o'clock. Over on the near side of the core, I could actually have thrown my shocks when the smoke timer was at more like 10 or 11. Whereas, on the left side of the core, you have to start throwing around 8 o'clock. Another thing you need to remember for that is that critters fly a bit slower than shocks. So, when you throw critters, you want to throw critters first, and then you're immediately switch to shocks and throw those. Okay, this was the final attack. Not much to it really. I was let's see. I was just letting my troops go shoot up the crates to gather more gunboat energy and damage the factory a bit. I have been trying to get the grapplers over there to go grab something else, so hence I was throwing critters to distract them. The problem is that the lasers burned up the critters, and the shock, in many cases, the shock launchers were in range as well. I forget that you can actually see the defense ranges now in replays. So yeah, actually, if you find yourself needing to distract the grapplers, you want to throw your critters about here. They're just barely outside range of that shock launcher, and so the grapplers will lock onto the critters. So this is the grappler range. And for reference, this is the laser range. If I had not destroyed those two laser beams, I suspect some of my gals would have crowded into range of the laser and got shot. One thing you need to remember about lasers is that they will, the beam persists for some distance after it hits its actual target. So it'll shoot at one target, and then the beam kind of burns through for some distance. Actually, as far as I remember, the beam can go right to the edge of the map, and I don't know why it's stopping short there. But yeah, anyway, so this War Factory took 4 attacks. If you are HQ 18, and if you have all offensive statues, or if you have a max of 9 statues, if you have 7 offensive statues, I'm pretty sure you can take this down without critters. HQ 19, I'm playing with 5 offensive statues. That's 3 GB statues and 1 troop damage, 1 troop health. And in this case, it was pretty easy because, like I said, if you know how to use critters correctly, they really make a huge difference, and you can you can use them really in place of shocks, or in combination with shocks. So yeah, HQ 19. That's how you take it down at HQ 19. I hope this is helpful, and